Hi there! In this video, I'm going to show you how to test the performance of an enterprise firewall using Safire. Before we start, let's take a quick look at the test bed. The firewall I want to test is here in a server room, and it is physically connected to a Safire tester by 2 cables. Now, to start the test, simply open a browser on your laptop, enter the IP address of the Safire tester, and log in with your username and password. The first thing you want to do is to click this testing button and enter test cases. On the left, you'll see a list of all the previously saved test cases. And if you click one, you'll see the test configuration on the right. And if you wanted to, you could click the buttons at the bottom to download or view the last report that was created when you ran this test. But today we want to create a new test case, and we do that by clicking the Create New button up in the top right of the screen. Now, the first thing Safire needs to know is the network topology of your firewall deployment. There are 4 options, 2 for enterprise scenarios, whether it's internal segmentation or security parameter, and 2 for data centers. Again, is it an internal segmentation, or is the firewall on the security parameter? If you want more information about each topology, just click the Information button. In this example, we're going to say our firewall is deployed as an internal segmentation firewall of an enterprise network. So let's click that scenario. Next, we select the firewall under test from this drop-down list. There are already some firewalls under test, but if you want to create a new one, you can either click this plus button from this page or go to Firewalls under test. Let's click the plus button. On this new Firewall under test page, there are 5 steps. First, we select the firewall model from this drop-down list. If you can't find it, there's a generic option at the bottom. Second, choose a firmware version. This information is important because it helps Safire do a more detailed performance comparison. Now focus on step 4 panel. This is really important. This is where it tells Safire which features are enabled on your firewall under test. And really, this is what makes Safire an outstanding solution. Being able to quickly and easily measure how different features on your firewall impacts its performance, so you can figure out how to get the right balance between security and performance. The last step is to choose an access method for this firewall. This information is used by Safire to monitor firewall resource usage and clear the firewall session table between test iterations. Click Create to save your firewall under test. Now we can continue with the testbed configuration. Safire shows support speed, and by default it selects the highest value. But you can easily choose another speed if you want to. For this test, let's keep it at 10G and focus instead on the center here. You can see icons representing the 2 ports on the Safire chassis, one in blue and the other gray. This makes it easy to find the corresponding physical ports on the chassis, which are also color-coded. The blue one is responsible for simulating clients, and the gray for servers. So now we need to enter the interface addresses of the 2 firewall ports. In this example, the firewall port connected to Safire's client port is 10.0.0.1, and the other is 11.0.0.1. Click Create, name your test case, and then click Save. You have now created a test case, and it has been saved in the database on the chassis. So you can open it again the next time you want to run this test case. This screen is where you can choose a traffic profile and run your test. On the left, you can see the traffic profile. Let's just go with the default for this test, as I'm going to show you how to configure other traffic profiles in another video. Now when you run the test, Safire will by default gradually increase the traffic, both the number of users and the amount of data being sent, from 10% to 100%. You can customize the duration of the test iteration and see the estimated overall test duration here. For this test, we specified 10 iterations of 60 seconds, so the whole test should take approximately 17 minutes. Now we're ready. Let's click Run Test. While the test is running, you'll see these 6 charts fill up with data for each test iteration. There's good put, latency, concurrent sessions, malware passed, error percentage, and firewall CPU and memory usage. As we just saw, the whole test would take over 17 minutes. So let's fast forward and look at the results once the 10 iterations are completed. Let's focus first on the good put chart. The line above shows layer 1 throughput, while the one below is the actual good put. As you can see, the chart shows the good put increasing as the load increases, but at this point, it stops increasing around 4 gigabits per second. If we look at the latency and error percentage charts, we also see a big change at the same point on the chart. Again, when the number of users is 1312 and the amount of traffic is 4 gigabits per second. So this is the point where the firewall could no longer keep up with the load and everything became congested. So that's how you create a test case, run a test, and look at the results. If you want to share these results with anyone, Safire has an excellent reporting function. Clicking this button, for example, will download and open the report. But I'll show more about that in another video, as well as how to compare test results when different firewall features are enabled. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.